Hello. This lady, Jacqueline Kennedy, was the first lady from 1961 to 63. Her personal style became known as the Jackie look, which inspired fashion trends around the world in the 1960s. She became the subject of intense media scrutinisation for her fashion choices and admired for her personal style, and she was frequently featured in women's magazines. Alongside many of the film stars of the day, she was named as one of the 12 best dressed women in the whole of the Western world. On the other hand, her preference for French designers and her spending on fashion also brought her negative press. So, after the election that put Jack Kennedy in the White House, she hired French-born but American designer Oleg Cassini to design her wardrobe. When she'd also been getting too much media negativity on fashion, she contacted fashion editor Diana Vreeland, asked her for suitable American designers who could produce the Paris look. Also Ben Zuckerman for his reinterpretations, or you might say copies, of Paris couture. And sportswear designer Stella Stout, who offered Givenchy copies. However, Jackie also enjoyed the French couturier of Balenciaga, and of course Givenchy himself. So for the inauguration, her first choice had been this lovely purple coat by Zuckerman, based on a Pierre Cardin design, but eventually settled on this Cassini coat, which was pale, classy and just fawn. It didn't take the attention too much of her husband, whose day it was. She preferred to wear clean-cut suits with a knee-length hem, three-quarter sleeves usually, and tidy round necks, neat little pillbox hats with the A-line style that was typical of the 60s. This all became known as the Jackie look, and her influential bouffant hairstyle was created for her, along with many other film stars of the day, by Mr. Kenneth, and she used him between 1954 and 1986. Now, on the day of the assassination of Jack Kennedy, she had been wearing this beautiful watermelon pink suit, Chanel replica, with a matching pillbox hat. When she stood by Lyndon B. Johnson to take the presidential oath, she refused to take off her blood-stained clothes, saying she wanted them to know what they had done to her husband. Just have a look at this beautiful, bright sunflower yellow skirt with a very simple black top. She was named in the International Best Dressed List Hall of Fame in 1965. And in 2012, Time magazine included her in its all-time 100 fashion icons list. And in 2016, Forbes included her on their list of 10 fashion icons on the trends that made famous of the day. Today, many of her signature clothes and outfits are preserved at the JFK Library and Museum. Now, I absolutely love all of Jackie Kennedy's clothes and how she was able to carry everything off. But I have three main favourites in my mind. And the first one is this beautiful orange silk summer dress. Plain, classy, elegant. Also had to be this beautiful Chanel pink suit that she wore on the tour when Jack Kennedy was assassinated. And this here is the inaugural ball gown, evening ball gown, which is a hobble type skirt, or as they called it in the 60s, a sheath skirt, and a lovely train. Oh, and it was in an oyster silk. So gorgeous. Later on in her life, when she was married to Onassis, she favoured the wide 70s style trousers, simple tops, large sunglasses that became her signature. She and her daughter-in-law Caroline were known to be the epitome of a capsule wardrobe. This meant a closet full of about 30 items that would go with anything and each other really, of blacks, whites, navies, fawns, browns, creams. Took the bother out of having to think about what you were going to match up with what for the day. However, I don't think Jackie would have had 30 items. I think she might have had 30 wardrobes and also staff to help her decide what she was going to wear for that day in particular, so no worries there. So let's just see some of the gorgeous items that became well-known fashion iconic looks, starting with this beautiful 70s style wool coat with the wide lapels. This white and gold silky sheath dress was used for a White House dinner. Her fantastic wedding dress was designed by Anne Lowe, who didn't actually get the credit she deserved at the time. Look at this beautiful ice blue sheath dress with a bateau neckline. This was for an event with Buckingham Palace with Queen Elizabeth. And this lovely dark black silky suit was for the christening of her sister's daughter, Christina Radziwill, at Westminster Abbey in London. One of the most famous and well-known outfits was this two-piece wall suit by Shane Nignon. It was for a Valentine's Day tour of the White House. Look at this gorgeous silk pink strapless gown that was for an event that was hosted by the Australian ambassador. Here, look, even in just a simple 60s cotton print dress on her 40th birthday at an Athenian nightclub with her husband Onassis. Do hope you've enjoyed another historical fashion tale. If you have, do join me again for the next one. Until then, bye.